huh? Oaklawn Park, grade 2. Big money on the line.
Big money. Yeah, cool. $1.25 million.
$1.25 million. Can't forget, of course, those all-important Kentucky Derby points are up for grabs, too.
Oh, absolutely. Can't forget about those.
We've got, as always, a ton of data to sift through today.
Yeah.
We've got the Brisbane past performances to look at.
Right.
We've got the expert picks from the Racing Form report.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, just a little general analysis to kind of...
Some context.
Yeah, put everything in context.
Yeah.
14-horse field, that's a lot to unpack.
That is a lot, yeah.
So we're going to try to make sense of this whole thing and help you, the listener, figure out who to put your money on.
That's the goal.
Maybe find a sleeper pick, a long shot, something like that.
Find a good bet, yeah.
Right off the bat. I mean, 14 horses, that's almost a guaranteed fast early pace,
yeah.
right?
Absolutely. I mean, they're gonna be flying, especially when you've got those W points on the line, right? Everybody wants to get those points.
Yeah. And when you have a pace like that, I always wonder, does that favor a certain running style?
You'd think it does. Yeah, looking at Oaklawn specifically and what the Racing Form report is saying.
Okay.
They're saying Oaklawn has really been favoring stalkers, closers.
Interesting.
So horses that kind of sit back a little bit.
Let the front runners tire out.
Exactly, and then make their move late.
Which, speaking of the Racing Form report, their top pick is SANDMAN.
Yep.
Who seems to fit that stalker closer style.
Yeah.
And of course his trainer, Mark Casse, been on fire lately.
Cass is a great trainer, especially this time of year. He knows how to get them ready.
So he's in form, SANDMAN, he knows the track.
Right, he's familiar with Oaklawn.
And with this pace, it seems like it could really set up for him.
Yeah.
But the Racing Form report did mention something about SANDMAN that we should be aware of.
Well, they are cautioning about his odds. If he drops too low,
okay,
they're saying it might not be worth the risk. The reward might not be there.
Right, you got to get a good return on your
exactly
and your investor.
You want to make sure you're getting good value.
And speaking of value, the Racing Form report flagged another horse, DREAMINBLUE, as a huge potential long shot.
Huge odds.
What is it about this horse that has them so intrigued?
Couple things. First off, his workouts has been really impressive.
Okay.
And the Racing Form report specifically mentioned a 6 furlong workout. He clocked in at a really quick 1-point tour.
Okay, so he's showing some serious speed in those.
Speed, yeah, and it looks like he's peaking at the right time.
Yeah.
Plus, Randy Morse, his trainer, Randy Morse, he knows how to win at Oaklawn.
He knows the track.
Knows the track really well.
So sharp workouts, trainer who's familiar with Oaklawn.
Yep.
But does he have the actual speed to compete with this field, right?
Well, if you look at his last out speed figure, Brisbane has it at 96, which is competitive here. So he's got the potential.
He's got the potential.
He's a long shot, but he's got the potential.
All right. Let's talk about a horse that I'm kind of puzzled by, Bullard.
Oh yeah, Bullard's an interesting one.
Okay, so he's got the highest prime power rating in the entire field.
He does.
A whopping 139.1.
Yeah.
And the top speed figure from a previous race, a 99.
Very impressive.
Okay, now for those who might not know, prime power, that's a rating.
Yeah.
That kind of combines all these factors: speed, class, pace.
It gives you like an overall picture of the horse.
Yeah, and it's supposed to
potential. Yeah.
So 139.1. I mean, that's
that jumps out at you for sure.
But there's
a but.
There's a but. He's never run a route distance before.
Yeah, that's a question mark, right?
This is 1 1/16.
It's uncharted territory.
So we don't know.
Can he handle the distance, right?
Right. We don't know if he can handle it. And to add to that uncertainty, he's drawn an outside post position, which statistically at Oaklawn,
it's not ideal.
Not good. It can really hurt a horse.
Yeah, you can lose a lot of ground.
So it's like he's got the potential to be this superstar.
Yeah.
But those are two big question marks.
Two big question marks. It's a gamble.
Yeah. Do you gamble on raw talent?
It's a tough one.
So we were talking about the favorite earlier, Skokin Wicket, right?
Right. Yeah.
He's got some really good recent speed figures.
Mm-hmm.
But the Racing Form report is not entirely sold on him.
Not 100%. Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, they're saying a couple things.
Okay.
They're worried about him being overbet.
Okay.
So the public might get really excited to drive his odds down, and the value might not be there.
Right. You got to be careful of the hype machine.
The hype, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not just the horse.
Mm-hmm.
It's the odds too.
It's all part of it.
Yeah.
And then they also mentioned his trainer.
Okay.
doesn't have the greatest track record in these bigger races.
Oh, okay.
So, that's another thing to keep in mind.
So it's like...
It's not just about raw talent. It's about,
right.
how you perform on the big stage.
When the lights are brightest.
Exactly.
Okay, all right. Kenny McPeek, he always seems to have these sneaky horses,
He does. He's got a knack for...
That pull off an upset.
Yeah, yeah.
The Racing Form Report mentioned HYPNUS. Really dominated his debut race.
Oh, yeah, that was an impressive win.
Yeah. Do we think that this could be another one of those...
Another sneaky McPeek horse.
Yeah, another sneaky McPeek horse. That could...
Well, it's too early to say for sure.
Right.
But, McPeek's a good trainer.
Yeah.
And they mentioned, the Racing Form Report mentioned that his workout times have actually even better than it was.
Oh, wow.
For that debut race.
So another one to keep an eye on.
Keep an eye on, yeah.
So we've got a potential superstar with some distance questions.
Right.
We've got a maybe overhyped favorite.
Yeah.
We've got a potential McPeek sleeper pick.
That's a lot to think about. It's a good race.
I know, it's a lot to think about.
We're just getting started.
Right.
We've got more to cover.
So
more contenders to break.
More contenders. The Racing Form Report has a few more surprises, apparently, up their sleeve.
Oh, yeah. They always do.
Okay, speaking of big names.
Oh, yeah.
Can't have a big race without talking about Bob Baffert. Right.
The legend.
He's got Matica Road in this one.
Yeah.
Always attracts a lot of attention.
Always.
Baffert horses. But the Racing Form Report, not totally convinced.
Yeah, they're a little hesitant.
On this one?
They think he's maybe a little overbet.
Oh, interesting.
Just because of the Baffert name,
Yeah, the hype.
The hype, exactly.
All right, let's move on to Speed King then.
Okay, yeah.
He won the Southwest Stakes here at Oaklawn last month.
He did, yep.
So that's got to make him a serious contender, right?
It does. He's got that home track advantage.
He knows the track.
He knows the track, clearly in good form.
But there's always a but.
He drew post position 11.
Ah, yes.
Which, as we talked about earlier...
Not ideal.
Not ideal at Oaklawn.
All right, a couple of horses that I wanted to ask about.
Sure.
That the Racing Form Report was not too high on Brereton's Baytown.
Right.
And Hot Gunner.
Yep.
Why are they less optimistic about these two?
Well, they're both stepping up in class.
Oh, okay.
Which is always a challenge.
So they're facing tougher competition.
Tougher competition, yeah.
Than they have in the past.
And if you look at their speed figures, they're just not quite at the same level as some of these other horses.
Okay.
So it's a big question mark. Can they handle it?
So we've got some potential pace setters, some talented stalkers and closures.
Yep.
A couple long shots.
Always.
And then a couple that are maybe facing some questions about class and experience.
Yeah, can they step up?
It's a lot.
It is. It's a lot to digest.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in.
But that's what makes horse racing fun, right? You gotta weigh all these factors.
Okay, so you mentioned earlier how Oaklawn has been favoring closures lately.
Right.
I'm curious, what is it about Oaklawn that kind of benefits that style?
Well, the track surface at Oaklawn, it tends to be a little deeper and sandier than some other tracks.
Oh.
So that means, if you go out too fast early, you might tire out a little sooner.
Okay.
And that gives those closures a chance to kind of come in late and
pick up the pieces.
Pick up the pieces, yeah.
So it's not just about the horses,
right.
It's about the track too.
Track plays a role for sure.
You got to know the track bias.
You got to know the track bias. Yeah. Okay, so with all these horses in the Rebel Stakes,
right.
It seems like that early pace could get really chaotic.
Oh, it's going to be wild, yeah.
Yeah, and I wonder how that's going to play out.
Well, I mean, it could set things up perfectly for a closer. If a few of these horses go out too fast.
Okay.
On the other hand, if the pace is a little more controlled,
right, then
it might give a horse with some early speed a chance to wire the field.
Okay.
So it really is kind of a wait and see.
We got to see those early fractions.
Yeah, see how it unfolds.
All right.
So we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
SANDMAN, DREAMINBLUE.
Yep.
Bullard, Smoke It Wicked, HYPNUS Matica Road, Speed King.
Keep going.
Even touched on Brereton's Baytown and Hot Gunner.
A lot of horses.
Anything else jumping out at you from all this information?
Well, let me see here. The Racing Form Report, they made a point of saying, pay attention to the weather.
Oh, right.
Some of these horses.
The track conditions.
Yeah, track conditions. They might prefer a wetter track, know?
You got your mutters and you got your fast track specialists.
Exactly.
So let's say it rains.
Okay.
Before the Rebel Stakes.
Hypothetical, yeah.
Yeah, hypothetical. What horses might we see benefit from that.
Let me see. Looking at the past performances here.
Yeah.
Brereton's Baytown, he kind of stands out. He's got a win.
Oh, okay.
And a second place finish on muddy tracks. So
interesting.
He might actually improve.
So even though the racing form report wasn't that high on him,
right?
Initially,
no.
A little rain could really change.
Could change everything.
See, this is why I love horse races.
Unpredictable.
Yeah, so unpredictable. All right, so we've gone through the contenders. We talked pace, running styles, post positions, even the weather.
Yep.
Now comes the fun part.
The hard part?
Well, the hard part, but the fun part.
Yeah.
Making some predictions.
Got to put our money where our mouth is.
So what are your top picks for this Rebel Stakes?
It's tough. It's a tough race, but I think I'm leaning towards SANDMAN if the track stays fast.
Okay.
He's got the right running style for Oaklawn.
Yeah. His
trainer's hot. His recent form is good.
But of course we got to keep an eye on those odds.
Got to watch the odds, yeah.
Right, what about for a long shot play?
I got to go DREAMINBLUE.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, those workouts are just too good to ignore.
Yeah.
And at 151, I mean,
oh yeah.
That's some serious value.
Big potential payout.
Big payout potential, yeah.
Yeah, we talked about Bullard earlier.
Yeah, the wild card.
The wild card, all that raw talent, but the distance?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a gamble.
So what are your thoughts on him?
If he can handle the distance,
yeah,
and overcome at outside post,
right,
he could win. I mean, he's got the talent.
Yeah.
But it's a big if.
Big if.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got SANDMAN, maybe the favorite, DREAMINBLUE, the long shot, Bullard, the high risk, high reward play.
That's a good way to put it.
Any other horses that you're looking at maybe for some exotic wagers?
HYPNUS, that McPeak horse.
Okay, yeah.
He could sneak up on people.
Yeah, he could be dangerous.
He could be dangerous. His workouts have been really good.
So some solid contenders to focus on.
Definitely some horses to watch.
But you never know.
You never know with horse racing.
Always a chance for a surprise.
Oh, absolutely. There's always a long shot that comes in.
Yeah.
And shocks everybody.
Well, we've armed you with all the intel we could find.
Yes.
Right, listener.
Yep.
Now it's your turn.
Make your picks.
Make your picks.
Yeah.
Are you with us on SANDMAN?
Mm-hmm.
DREAMINBLUE?
Yeah.
Or do you have a different horse that you think might steal the show?
Let us know. Let us know who you like.
We're always up for a good debate.
Always.
Maybe you'll teach us a thing or two.
Yeah, we can learn from you too.
Good luck with your bets, and we'll be back next time with another deep dive.
We'll see you then.
See ya.